in this lesson we're going to add sounds to our game to make it more atmospheric. Sounds are very important in any kind of game, whether it be music or sound effects or whatever. A sound website that I like to use is Free Sound. There are many others, but it's something that I've found quite useful, and it's very easy to download some good sounds, good quality sounds, and the good thing, they're all royalty free, which is great to see. I also like to put a quick mention to the people who created these sounds, because I create sounds myself. I know how long this type of thing takes. I create all my own graphics and all kinds, and it is a very time consuming business. It's a labour of love, I tell you. Anyway, so you can do any search you want for anything like that, but I'll just show you examples here. So piece on Cranbrook down with or whatever, and then Philip Goddard. If we click on to play, and you're there. You're there in a nice, nice countryside field, waiting for the sun to arrive. I don't know what you're gonna do. So the next one is footstep by gravel running in wave wire. So that's a really good one for a one-off sound effect. That's good for a background sound. Walking in water by Job 1Z. And what I like is they have a random sound of the day. I don't know what it's going to be. You'll have to wait and see. So I'll play again. Sound like some kind of bottle. But anyway, what you can do, I could play with that all day. Yeah, you actually download the sounds that you want. Now, it's very important. Some of these sounds that you download are in compressed zip format, so you need to unzip them. When you've unzipped them, you can then put them into your assets folder in Godot. I put them under sounds or music, or it's up to you, whichever one you want. So I'll show you where this comes in useful now. I'll just close that site down. So we're back in our Godot project, and you'll see I've added the sounds to the assets folder, but the assets folder you downloaded earlier, all these sounds are already there for you. Now feel free, please, to go and experiment and use your own sounds, because the more individual you can make your game, the more popular it could be. So just take that bit of advice. Now the next bit is looking at, there is only 3 types of files that Godot will allow at the moment. It's WAV type sounds. Now WAV files are very detailed because they do record the original sound as it is, but they are quite memory expansive. So the thing is, you'll use WAV files generally for short sound effects. MP3 files you can use, which is okay for background music and this type of thing, and OGG Vorbis type files. They're very good for, again, longer sequences because they're very highly compressed. So what I normally do, I'll use the WAV files for the sound effects. You'll see more about them in a minute. And the OGG Vorbis. I don't tend to use MP3 in games unless I'm actually creating or importing the music that I've created into the project, because generally I'll work in WAV file when I'm recording music and sounds, and then only when it's finished I'll export it to MP3 and then use the MP3 sound file, because they're far more efficient memory wise regarding compression's concerned. So let's have a look at the first bit. Now the first bit is importing the sounds the way they should be. If you click in the sounds folder that we created earlier, click on the Apple Crush, which is a WAV type file. Then if you go to import in the next to the scenes tab, you'll notice there's a way of importing these files. With a WAV file, it will automatically detect it as a WAV file, and the settings we need to make certain of that it says detect from file, and you can see that it's done that by this being present. So Microsoft WAV file, if it's a WAV file you're creating, okay, and if you've done any changes, you click the re-import, which then re-imports the sound the way it is. Now we're going to do another WAV file, so it's the B loop this time. You'll find exactly the same settings. There's no real need to change them unless you really want to from there. The only difference will be in the OGG files. Now you might have heard on a previous video, when we go on the level 1, there's a dinosaur type sound atmosphere. I created that a while ago, but it's a really good one. I keep using it because it's very nice. Okay, so this is an OGG type file. So if I click on the OGG type file, we want the OGG type file, which is like music to backgrounds or music to main menus, to loop over again, because when the sound file finishes, we want it to continue on to the next loop round. So we'll make certain that OGG is already selected at the top. Loop is on in this case. Now there are times when you don't want the loop on. I'll show you that in a minute. The other ones, other sections, you can leave the way it is. So once it's there, you go on to re-import, and then that's already done. Okay, the same thing for the main menu music. It's a loop file, but I couldn't find or create a sound that I wanted to on this one in a WAV type file, but I've found it on OGG. So a menu sound, I've not included the loop on there, and I'll let you listen to the menu sound as and when we create it there. Okay, so that's more so about where to get the sounds from, or one place anyway. The actual sound files that's there, the import settings, which are very important. You need to make certain they're imported properly, otherwise you won't play properly. Okay, so what we need to do now, we need to create a sound, and I'm going to create a sound on the Apple first. So all we need to do is open up the Apple scene. So we're finished with the sounds for now. I can reduce that down, and then inside the scene and go to the Apple scene. Now I've gone ahead to save time with these videos and put some sounds already on to these assets. Now it's very important that you are very memory efficient with these. So what I've done, I've actually created a pickup sound. So if I click on the pickup sound there, we right click, add child node, and then we select the audio stream player 2D. Okay, with the audio stream player 2B selected, you double click and rename it. I've named this pickup sound, and when you've done that, you can then rename the sound to pickup sound, and then you click onto it, click on the node, the sound node, and then you can drag in the sounds that you want. So I dragged in the Apple Crush WAV, put it into there, just click onto the play option there. You'll hear that sound is on the Apple. So as and when a player contacts the Apple, it will then sound. Okay, so if we run the level 1 scene that we created earlier, just to show you that this type of thing works quite well. So level 1 scene, I'm going to run it, and as the player contacts the Apple, you should hear the actual Apple crunch. That just shows you how atmospheric it can be, but you can create your own sounds and then put them on there. Okay, you can see a B in the scene as we created earlier. We're going to put a B sound on that now. So if we go down to the B scene, we go into the B. I've created a audio stream player 2D with the B sound on it the same way I did before. So we click that. That's the B sound that we're going to use. Yeah, they're very angry, the bees here. That's fine. Okay, so then you just make certain that the sounds are on inside there, and I'll show you again how it works. I'll come to the program inside in a minute. So we go back to level 1. Okay, that's the Apple sound, the B sound, and you can hear that works really well. So the way to play these in the game or in the script, so what you need to do is you go to the scene you want to put the sound in. Now we started with the Apple. You'll notice what I've done in the actual program. I've included pickup sound play here. That's very important where you put this option, because it depends on what conditions you got in your program. This is an on body entered, so as the player contacts the Apple as we created earlier, if you put the pickup sound and play there, as soon as it contacts the player, it will actually make the sound. Now, very important, because we got the cue free here, the cue free means it's going to get rid of the node in the current scene. Now, if the node's gone in the current scene, you can't hear the sound. So that's the reason why we put a small delay, time delay, before we get rid of the option. If you didn't have that time delay, you can try it yourself, you wouldn't hear the sound because the node disappears quickly. So that's that particular part. So you can see that's where the sound has been put into the B scene. Sorry, the Apple scene. In the B scene, it's very similar. So if we go to the B script, now you can see here on body entered, I play the B sound straight away because we need to make certain that they can hear it. Again, the same reason before, we wait a second before it gets rid of it, then we're there. Then we've got all these conditions we've already explained in the past. So that's how to play the B sound. Again, you'll notice it's absolute reference into the node. So the B sound is there. That's what you're going to say and play. It's very simple and straightforward. As long as you put these lines of code in the correct places, you're fine. And what I suggest you do is, when you get used to creating your own programs, put these items of code in exactly the same place each project you do, and you're not going to find a big problem. Okay, so that's that one. There's also one onto the main menu. So if we go open the main menu up, main menu scene, you'll notice we open the script, and this time we're gonna put the sound in 2 places. One is the main menu. Now, when you're looking at background music, it's best to put the music inside an asset that's going to be permanently available while that scene's running. And the way to do that, if you put it in the background of anything, the background will stay there until the level finishes. So that's why I've put the main music in the play section in the ready function. So as soon as the scene runs, it will then run the music. Now, the music I chose for that one, so if I go to the main music, I put 2 lots in here, one for the button sound. So as you press the button sound will play. Again, I'm putting a small time delay there so you can hear it. If you press the exit button, the button sound will play, and again a small time delay. But in the main music one, you'll listen to the music and you can hear it's a good background music. That background music is like a builder to the atmosphere for the track, because obviously dinosaurs are quite frightening sometimes. If you notice in the level 1 scene, I put the music in the background scene itself, so you can see all that the background does. It's just a texture rect, as you know, with a graphic inside. I've put the Funk Ready inside the background. Now the advantage doing this, as and when you create different backgrounds for different scenes, you can simply change the music for that particular background rather than keep changing the program code for each different background you've got. Different background music for the atmosphere. And the way to do that, if you click onto the background music there, you can see that comes into there. I don't know why it's not playing on that anyway. It don't matter about that, you'll hear anyway. So if I click onto this and run it, you'll hear the great background music I could put together for the dinosaur type atmosphere. It works really well. Okay, so that's a bit of a tip on the background of any particular scene that you create. That's already done then. So you can see that we've found where sounds from. We can get sounds from many different websites. We then set the import settings of them sounds, and then we use them sounds inside our background music and also sound effects for our players. That concludes this audio section for the Create 2D games in Godot 4.4.1 by Cool Studios. I'll see you in the next video.